Oh gosh. Okay. Good morning and happy Friday. Sorry, Karma just ran out. Almost took the cords with him. So my name is Jen Bailey. I'm a VSG athlete and I'm a long distance runner. I had VSG surgery in 2021, March 2nd, I believe, but it's in my info in there. If you're new here, thank you for joining. If you've been with me, thank you for hanging out and we're going on this journey. So today I wanted to go over what not to eat post VSG surgery. Post gastric sleeve, whatever way you want to call it, post weight loss surgery. There are a healthy chunk of things that we should be staying away from. And it's not to, limit us and make us feel like, oh my gosh, you can't have this for the rest of your life. But these are like guidelines. So I'll go over some things like, what I really stick to and some of the things that I don't, for lack of better words. I'm human. We're all human. We're still going to have some of these things off the, foods to avoid list, but it's within reason for sure. I don't want to mess up any of the progress that I've made and like the forward motion that I have going on. So I just want to go over that and share it with you guys. This is the info that I've been given through my specialists and the team, and it's been really, really useful for me. So I definitely wanted to share it with you. This is my second time kind of using things, throwing them up on the screen. So if, I'm a little janky with it, so sorry. But I know over time I'm going to try and incorporate these things more and more. This way I can get more comfortable with it and be able to share more info with you guys. So let's see if I can do this. We'll start off with some basic things. Full screen layout. Not even sure what that is, but let's go into this little guy. Okay. So before we get into the food, we'll go into this little tidbit here. We're not supposed to use straws, drink carbonated beverages, or chew gum. Now, before surgery, I had come across sparkling water and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Why haven't I incorporated this in my life? It was delicious. I loved it. And then they're like, no, girl, anything carbonated, you got to calm down on. And that's because post-surgery, well, even before, but the carbonation can expand our tiny tummies, so it can stretch it over time. Obviously, sodas aren't great because they carry that sugar in it. And then I know there's a lot of sodas out there now that have the fake sugar. But the carbonation, that's what is really going to get us when it comes to the tummy and the stretching of it. So I just stay away from all carbonation as much as I would like to go back to sparkling water. I just don't want to risk anything. So I just don't do that. But that's something. Straws. I do drink from straws. I definitely didn't the first maybe 6 to 8 months after surgery because I was super afraid of this swallowing too much air, causing pain and discomfort, and I wasn't trying to deal with that. And for me, it's mostly because during the day or, when I'm not running, I wear lipstick, and again, your girl, we're basic. So I got lipstick that does not hold on all day. And so I don't want something touching my lips and then I'm constantly reapplying. I don't got that kind of money. So I do use straws, but it hasn't like caused any issues in these, couple years since. That's something, but definitely, that first 6-8 months, I didn't, because I really wanted to stick to what they said. But that's where I am, and I'm still doing okay with it. These are the guidelines. Again, I am not a doctor. I'm just sharing the things that were shared with me in hopes of helping you along your journey. But definitely talk to your own people and see how that goes for you. And yeah, so chewing gum, they definitely scared me on. I was a super gum fan. I enjoyed it. It, kept my breath fresh. And now I'm a mini Altoid kind of girl. Not that I have stank breath or anything. Like, I constantly brush my teeth and tongue, floss, do all the good things, keep your mouth healthy. But they had told me that with gum, if you accidentally swallow it, it just goes down. Maybe you purposely swallow it. Who knows the case? But they could have to go back and do a surgery to remove it from your stomach, because it could get caught up in there. It could cause some blockages. And I was like, heck no, I don't want to deal with that. That sounds scary. We're just going to avoid gum altogether. So I have not had gum since the surgery in March of 2021. I'm scared and I don't want it. So yeah, that's where we're at with that one. Let's see what our next one is. All right, so we'll touch on this and then I'll show you that list again with you see all the red X's and all the craziness. I've already talked about, carbs and that, but this is kind of what they said and, what I touched on when I had that live stream. Limit your starches, the bagels, cereals, cracker, noodles, pretzels. Those can expand in your stomach. They'll cause pain and discomfort, and they can cause a blockage, take up too much space in the stomach, and it also can reduce your intake of protein. Again, we have this tiny amount of space, so the things we want in our stomach are what's going to be more beneficial to us. This is something, yes, for the rest of our lives, because we don't have that full size like a lot of people do. So we have to be mindful of the things that go in and what nutrients our bodies pull from it. Those kind of things don't have that. Anything white, like I say, white bread is dead bread. It's been processed, it's been bleached, everything's removed from it. If you get the whole grain ones, great, but they also have to be useful to your body. Like when I run longer mileage, that's when I'll have a slice of toast with peanut butter on it. And even so, that's still kind of pushing it. But these kind of things, they're not useful to our bodies, even though we take those vitamins a few times a day, every single day for the rest of our lives. That's not complete for us. We still need to get as many nutrients as we can from our food. So avoiding these things as best as you can for life is kind of, the deal. All right, let's go back. That's the last one. All right. So this one, sorry in advance if it's kind of small, but again, it's just, I kind of took some pictures, put it up here in hopes of it going. Let me see if I can make it full screen. Boom. Okay. So use caution or avoid these kind of foods altogether. They could cause weight gain and dumping syndrome. Weight gain is something we're not trying to go back into. We got to this, we got this far. We had the surgery because we had too much weight on us. So I don't want to work backwards in this journey. there are things. So it says eating these foods can make you very uncomfortable, lead to diarrhea and vomiting. While eating too much of any food can cause weight gain, the high-fat foods on this list have major health impacts. So they're going to have these adverse impacts on your body, and it's not going to feel great. This may be something that could last a couple days. I know when I tried bread pudding, is that what it's called? Yeah. So when I tried bread pudding, I was done. Like that was on a Friday evening, and I was done through like Sunday afternoon. These are things that, you know, caused my body such issues. I felt terrible because of the sugar content in it. And yeah, and it was carbs, and it was all the bad stuff. But I was like, I'm gonna have a few bites of it. No, girl, don't do it. It's not worth it. So alcohol, it's got the asterisk on it. Obviously, you know, they want us to stay away from that for life. I know some people do drink. I had a shot of tequila, I believe, around month 8, and it hit me pretty fast. It hit me within like 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the most. I felt, you know, the warm fuzzies. I felt its effect. I felt giggly and all that. It came through me. I literally felt it moving through my innards. That was the craziest thing. And then it went away like pretty fast also. But like I haven't had a whole lot of alcohol since then. It doesn't really like do anything, and it's empty calories. Sugar content's high in it, and it's not great on our bodies. You know, I have seen a few people on social media that have had the surgery and drinking was their thing before surgery, and they went back to drinking afterwards, and they really started to gain the weight back. You know, do what you will, but we had this surgery to have a better life for ourselves. And that's where, you know, alcohol is not ideal in this. It can lead to a lot of other issues afterwards anyways, definitely because of how it affects us. So bacon, got the grease, not great. Cake, the frosting, candy, all of these sugary things, cookies, donuts, those kind of things, not great. So those are things we definitely want to stay away from. Coffee drinks, again, that one has caffeine in it, and we should be really limiting, if not just not having it in our daily life. I drink decaf coffee. That just, you know, works for me. Sometimes I like the flavor of coffee, so I'll have it. But overall, no, I'm not really like a super coffee person anyway. So I just have it maybe a few times a week, at most like 3, and that's max. Greasy foods, again, French fries, fried foods, frozen yogurt, the sugar in it, hamburgers. So people do eat meat, like, okay, cool. I'm not saying you have to go and have go to vegan or become a vegetarian. I chose to be vegetarian, and that's just my own thing. It works better with my body. Meat seems to take a long time to process, and it doesn't make me feel great. And I'm just not a fan of how animals are treated with it. So that's just me. But if you do meat, you do you. Go for it. Eat the meat, eat the chicken, eat the fish, eat all of those things. But let's get back into this. Again, hash browns, hot dogs, sausages. Again, for like us vegetarian, there are options for these things. I can't really have too much gluten because it gives me like the juicy throats, not cute. Horchata. So then we go down the other side, ice cream, juice smoothies, mayonnaise, hey, if you like mayonnaise, just go easy on it. Don't do the globs of it. You know, that stuff, yes, it is high in fat and not the good fat on there, but you know, the, again, moderation on things. I do have ice cream from time to time. I'm not going ham on it. I'm not eating one of those little baby things on my own because I know that's going to make me super sick and I don't want to be like on the toilet either end on there. So I just don't want to feel sick. I don't want to deal with what that does to my body. And then in the long term, it's all those empty calories and the sugar, and it's not going to make me feel great. Yeah. Dulce, so the Mexican sweetbread, pastries, again, yeah, we love our morning stuff. It's working in an office situation. A lot of these things come up. So that's on us to be more mindful and make better choices, take our own snacks in there. Pizza, boom. Pizza's my favorite. Love pizza, but I can't have the stuff like I'll have the cheese, I'll have the bell peppers that are on top, I'll have pineapple. Yes, I do eat pineapple and jalapenos. I like that sweet spicy or sweet savory. I'm that weirdo, so sorry. You got me. But you know, the pizza, that's that bread. It does nothing for us. Cheese is probably high fat too, so not ideal. Pork rinds, chicharrones, potato chips, those kind of things that has that like grease in it. I mean, maybe if you're going to have a little bit of potato chips, do that baked version, have that kind of better option, so to speak. But, you know, these are things that we should genuinely be avoiding altogether. Again, we're human. Some of us aren't going to do that. And okay, but you know, don't just take that in and say, oh, like, oh, I had some of the, like my stomach can't hold a whole lot, so I'm just going to eat this stuff until I feel full and then move about my day. It doesn't have nutritional value for us. Don't make that something that's going to be part of everyday life. I know when we're out and about, sometimes that's kind of the option for things, but try your best to find a better option, if you will. It's going to help you in the long run for sure. Refrescos, those Mexican drinks, the lime drink, the watermelon stuff, all of that. Yes, they're delicious, but they have a lot of sugar in them too. Soda, carbonation, sugar, not ideal. That's not, none of that works for us. Sports and energy drinks, you know, go for your 0 or low calorie ones. But yeah, overall, generally sports drinks have a lot of sugar in them. I have electrolyte, that's kind of my go-to, and liquid IV. So electrolyte when I'm running, liquid IV like throughout the daily if I need, like I know I'm not doing well on hydration. That kind of gives me that boost and it helps me get back into hydration line. But I always have to be mindful of the sugars in these things. Not so much when I'm running because I need that, like it's a whole running thing. Your body goes through glycogen, all that stuff, but we're not going to get into it. So yeah, those are the two that I work with, not work with, but I drink because that's what works for my body. I can't have Powerade, has too much sugar. I can't have Gatorade, too much sugar. So if that works for you and you're active enough to have those things, great. But I would just suggest against those on the daily because there's far too much of the bad stuff in it that your body doesn't need. And your body being your post-gastric sleeve body, you know, beforehand, do you. Let's let's get it myself. All right. So now these ones also can cause bloating, pain, acid reflux. Luckily, fingers crossed, I have not come across acid reflux because I've been following what they told me. They kind of scared me straight in a lot of this. Obviously, I dabbled in a couple of the sugary things because that was my go-to beforehand, but still not ideal. So again, alcohol, that's going to stir up some things if you continue with it. Not great afterwards, but hey. Caffeine, again, it does mess with the lining of our stomach. Carbonated fizzy drinks, stretches, messes with that lining. Chocolate, fatty, greasy foods, and spicy foods. I do love spicy food, but I haven't had any issues, and I don't eat spicy food every single day. But that's, like sugary things were my go-to before surgery, spicy before surgery, and afterwards. Spicy still incorporated, but it's not an everyday thing because I don't want to experience acid reflux. I did beforehand, before surgery, not a good feeling. So I know there are people that have revision surgeries because of the acid reflux or, having GERD. That's a whole thing. And there's a whole nother kind of set of like diet restrictions, food intake that you could do to help with it. But fingers crossed, I'm going to do my best to not ever get to that because it doesn't sound good at all. It sounds like it's painful, for lack of better words, and I'm not here for that. All right, let's go to this next one. All right, so now these ones, we'll go from the top again. Look, they already put it in the yellow. Avoid gum. Haven't had gum. Kind of miss it, but the mini Altoids are my friend. I don't like big chunky ones because they're just too big and chunky, but I do like fresh breath. So avoid gum. These ones may cause a blockage. They can block the connection between the stomach and the small intestine. Don't want that. Nope. I never eat raw celery. It's just, celery doesn't have a taste. Ants on a log used to be fun. But yeah, it's a little stringy and that was never really my thing. I do have it sometimes in soups, but it's always chopped into bits, so not really a big deal. You can have it cooked in your soup. They say that's great. Or it's okay, not great. Coconut, yeah, let's not go for the coconut, but if you love it, like maybe have it in small portions. Again, just like me, like it says don't have ice cream, but I do have it from time to time. We are human. Corn is something that does, crack me up a little. You see it, our bodies don't really process it anyways, but we don't want it to get stuck. Corn comes out the same way it goes in, looks pretty whole. You know what I mean. Dried fruit. So that one, yeah. I will have it time to time with, the trail mix and the snacks, but I don't have that like every single day. If I put it in my oatmeal, it is no longer dried and it does kind of come back to life, but yeah, I'm not here chomping on like straight up dried fruit. Again, hot dogs, sausage skins, nuts and seeds. There are certain ones, hey, if you're allergic to some things, but I still have like walnuts, I have almonds, those little pepitas things. I make sure to chew these things incredibly well because I don't want that blockage. And so far, I've been okay. So, chew, chew, chew. Popcorn, the little kernels and things, they don't want that to get stuck. Got it. Potato skins, this one has the little time restraint on it. So potato skins for at least 6 months. Those aren't forever. We just got to let that tiny tummy heal. It's got some work that needs to be done. It went through a lot of trauma. It lost a whole chunk of itself. But yeah, skins, seeds of fruits, and vegetables for at least 6 months after surgery. So, those ones aren't forever, but be mindful of having them because we don't want that issue. So to avoid complications, eat only very small amounts of starches. So we're back to that. Let me take myself off this. We can read the little thing. So limited nutritional value. We already touched on that in that smaller version, but they have limited nutritional value, could cause pain and discomfort. Yes, they would take up a lot of space in our tiny tummies. Leaves less room for the important nutrients we need to get after surgery. Obviously. So there's the list. Same things, all the starchy things, the bagels, the biscuits, the bread, croissants. Oops, I was not even on there. Croissants used to be my favorite on these things, and now it's very rare. But yeah, that's where we're at. With it. French toast. Oh my gosh, French toast. So the Burger King French toast sticks, that was wonderful. And I don't have them anymore because number one, it's super high in sugar. And the starchy carbs are not ideal for us. Muffins, pancakes, pasta, pita bread, rice cakes, rolls, stuffing, waffles. Stuffing was a go-to for me also. I like that kind of savory thing, but it's not great for us. So let's not do that. I mean, maybe I don't know. I haven't even tested it out if I'm going to do my carb load pre-marathon. But yeah. These are some of the things, a lot of the things that we should be avoiding altogether, if not really limiting post-surgery. So, if you have any questions on things, how, pick my brain, how they affected me, some of the things that I've had since surgery, if they've done anything to my body or whatever, feel free, put it in the comments, ask me a question. You can DM me. But I definitely wanted to go over that info with you guys and show you, yeah, we have a lot of X's on these things. But it's not something to be like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to eat the same after surgery. No, we're human. We can still dabble a little in some of them. The gum scares me, but it's not pulling from our lives. I've had such an amazing life post-surgery with these things in place. So, I would never say oh, don't have the surgery because you can't have all these things because they're red X'd on here. No, those are the tiniest bit, when it comes into play post-surgery of what you shouldn't be having, because that's how we got there anyways. And I don't want complications. So that's where we're at. I hope you got some value from this. I definitely wanted to, visually show you what's going on there. I need to make a long form video. I haven't done it in a hot minute and I apologize for that. But you know, you go through, you can pause the screen, take a screenshot, do what you will with these things. You can always email me. I can send you the screenshots. I do have the book, that was really, really helpful to me along the way. It still kind of baffles me when some people say that, they got back into regular food just like a few weeks after. I'm not sure about that one because that's just not what I was taught. And I had such a good experience through now just following these guidelines that they set out for me. So, some people do have like adverse effects or like complications on there. That's not an everybody thing. For the most part, we all do pretty well with it. So stick to what your doctor tells you. And I think overall, you're going to end up doing really well with it. And the weight will come off. Obviously, like the bigger you are from the beginning, the faster it starts to come off post-surgery. But everybody is different. Don't compare your beginning to someone else's middle. I know that very well, and that's something I have to stick to. So feel free to follow along with my journey. I'm on Instagram, Jen_Bailey17, and Strava at Jen Bailey. So Strava is the activity app. It's free. You can go on there. You have your toilet time. Go on there. Check out the things that I do or don't do. I was not feeling great for a good chunk of time, so you'll see like my activity dropped and I'm getting back into it now that it's summertime. I have to be out there super early, but we press on. Life happens, depression kicks in, sickness, whatever the case may be, and we press on. So pushing through all that, guys. But thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really hope that you got some value from this. If you have those questions, feel free to put them out there for me. I am happy to answer. Sometimes it takes me a hot minute because, we have life. But I'm super grateful for you to be here. So thank you. I hope you have an amazing weekend. If you have sunshine, enjoy it. If not, fingers crossed for sunshine for you. And until next time, sending light, love, and happiness. Bye.